Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch one episode of the Twilight Zone, the episode 14 from the season 3. If you don't know it, I'm watching some episodes of the Twilight Zone, you know, that's a project that I have on my channel. It's not something that I do regularly, like you're not gonna find an episode of the Twilight Zone, you know, on my channel each week of the year or anything like that. It's really when I have a gap, an hole, you know, on my schedule and I can't, you know, binge watch, begin a new show, a new anime. I decide to react to one new episode of the Twilight Zone. That's something that I do since a long time, in fact, now, and that's something fun that I appreciate to do because I appreciate to discover each time a new episode of the Twilight Zone. That's really a cult show, a popular one, which was out a long time ago, but which influenced after that so many shows, so many movies, so many stories, and I discovered with you guys 14 episodes already, or 13, something like that, and each time it proved me that truly it's an influence for a lot of shows, a lot of movies, a lot of stories, and a lot of these episodes that I watched with you, I kept them in mind, you know. Sometimes I'm coming back to it, like, you know, the guy who was reading a lot and finally at the end he's all by himself so he can read all as he wants, but he's breaking his glasses and in fact he's just all by himself. Like, a lot of stories like that truly impacted me and were so cool, so great to discover. It has been a long time that I didn't watch one episode, and today I'm gonna watch only one because in fact I have the gap, you know, and all on my schedule only for one episode, but that's already cool. I chose this one, you know, this episode 14 from the season 3 because I told you at the beginning of this project, in fact I went on IMDb and I picked the 20 episodes which were the most well rated on IMDb, and turned out that this one has also really good rates. What can I tell you about it? I just know that it's about 5 characters who are trapped, blocked in a place and they don't know why them and they don't know why they are there. So truly it's can be something which is gonna please me because if you don't know it, if you're not watching my channel for anything else, I love a lot movies, shows which are happening into a closed space. Really, it's bringing a real tension since the beginning, and even more if they don't know why they are there. Like, you know, for example, I'm beginning to think like maybe this episode influenced stuff like, you know, the movie Cube, maybe it influenced other stuff like that. After it was out, I'm gonna say it to you, it was out in December of 1961, and the name of it is 5 Characters in Search of an Exit. Oh, and it's based... I'm on the Wikipedia page, you know, to have the date of when it was out, and I was seeing, you know, right there at the beginning that it's based on the Depository by Marvin Pétan. So I just wanted more information about that, so I was continuing to read, and at the end of the Wikipedia page on Legacy you can find this episode was reportedly an inspiration for the film Cube. So really, just by reading the synopsis of it, I guessed that it was an inspiration for this movie. Like, again, to have characters into a closed space and they don't know why they are there and why them and all. I knew it! I just knew it! It's fun! And also the TV series Felicity, I don't know this one, paid homage in its episode Help for the Loverlorn Both episodes were directed by Lamont Johnson, who directed this episode. If you guys, you know Felicity, you're gonna know why and all of that. But see, that's fun. I knew it. And the Depository by Marvin Petal, I don't know what it is. Is it a book? A short story. Okay. And people are searching for it. You know, the first things on Google about it, it's people searching for it who wants to read it. Okay. So that's it. You know what I know about it. The synopsis, when it was out in December of 1961. And I was right to think that it inspired after that the movie Cube. So let's go for it. Remember that if you want, on my Patreon you have these reaction videos, you know, that you have on my YouTube channel. You have them on my Patreon with an extended all 4 reaction part. For the Twilight Zone, normally I put the extended reaction part. If I decide, you know, to put the full one, you're gonna have that information on the description. And it's the best way to support me, my Patreon, to help me with my channel, with my videos. So if you want and if you can come on my Patreon. Let's go for this episode! A military guy? You can see the sky. Maybe it's a closed space, but you can see the sky. Yeah. And a clown.
I'm a major. Don't fret. The dance becomes quickly, even in a peacetime army. Oh no.
You're really the opposite of each other, you know. Military thinking like that. A clown is a little weird.
Items seem to have eluded me, like who I am. That you are a major. Who are you? What are you doing here? Is there a circus around here somewhere?
You don't remember who you are.
A clown, a servant, an officer, a war. That's logic, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't figure at all, because there is no service. And there is no war, just like the rest of us. The rest of us?
Oh. A ballerina, an armless guy, and a Scottish musician.
Where are we? What are we? Who are we? Who are we?
None of us knows, Major.
That's really a Kafkaian episode, no?
Question with no answer, Major. Nameless things with no memory. No knowledge of what went before. No understanding of what is now. No knowledge of what will be.
I can understand so much, you know, that the movie Cube was inspired by this episode, but how did you think of an episode like that at the beginning? It's even weirder than the movie, you know, like
Nobody knows the answer.
the roles that they have, all of them. And the fact that right there it's something round, you know, when in Cube it's a square, you know, it's a cube. It's also an influence. A wink.
We're here because we're here because we're here because we're here.
You remember that song?
You know that, don't you?
You don't remember who you are, but you remember things.
I want out of here. I'm not satisfied to sit around here heaving deep sighs. I want out of it. Second.
Are you truly clowns, ballerinas and all of that outside?
What's up there? You name it. Sky, artificial light, illuminated microscope. You name it. One guess is as good as the other.
No, since how long?
Or maybe we're on a spaceship. Maybe we're all insane. Or maybe this is a mirage.
We're dead. And this is limbo. We don't really exist.
It's error.
Oh, we're each of us having a dream. And everyone else is part of the other person's dream. That's one thing we have an abundance of. Possibilities. How about getting out of here?
Yeah.
Anybody examined that possibility?
I think that they all did.
We're trapped down here. There's no way out, Mom. This is a nightmare.
Can't you go, you know, on the shoulders of everyone?
There's been no food or water.
But we'll starve to death or we'll die of thirst. Do you feel anything, Major? No. But it is understandable that I don't feel hungry or thirsty. This is shock or the aftermath of shock.
None of us have felt anything since we've been here.
Since how long
We've
it
been here
is?
for an endless time.
This is really incredible. Have you shouted?
Can we believe you? Like, you're all acting weird. Yes, I would be like the Major, you know, I would try everything no matter what. I wouldn't believe them just like that, blindly.
For our purposes, this is the universe, this little room.
It happened before that?
Giant bell or something. That's what it sounds like.
It's new?
Hey! Let us out of here! Please!
Please, Major, don't be afraid. It's hard in the beginning. Please, Major. After a while, it'll be a lot easier. Perhaps there are a lot of dungeons like this. Maybe we've just never heard of them before. Perhaps they're for the unloved. Perhaps that's who we are.
Yeah. Oh, the depression is rough, girl.
We must have names. We're people. There must be others who care about us. We have a life that has been cut away from us. We've got to get it back, each one of us. We, all of us, we are in hell.
That was my guess also.
Never say die, darling. Let him be. Let him have his fun.
Are you supposed to represent all of the voices, you know, of someone into his head?
It's metal, I think. Circular, smooth. Perhaps you know some acrobatics I'm quite unaware of. I see what she's getting at. One on top of the other. Standing on each other's shoulders.
That would have been really my first offer.
I assure you that though I may wear the costume of a clown, I have no recollection whatsoever of having been one.
But you know, the musicians, the ballerina, they know how to play, they know how to dance. So for them, at least, it's related, their costumes, with who they were.
Right. It is a chance. Now, come on. We'll go on the first person, so I'll start. The clown on my shoulders. And the tramp, and the bagpiper, and then the girl.
Why not try?
We'd never reach it. We could try. We're not sure how high it is. That's the point. We would be exerting ourselves for nothing.
But you're never thirsty or hungry or exhausted, so...
Let's try it.
And how did it happen, you know, when
Things were far
the Major appeared? He came from
I go with the majority.
this all?
Come on. Take your time. You can make it.
Come on, abs, guys, abs. Oh, really? 10 centimeters? Something like that?
I can't reach it. It's just a little above me.
Try. Stretch. Try. You've got to try.
Uh-oh.
How's your leg?
I think I strained it. But I'll be all right. I could almost feel it.
You were almost there. A rope around the haft of the sword. Fling it over the ledge, and then a hook on the edge. Very genius.
You have good ideas.
Somehow I'll get you out of here. But none of us gets out until one of us gets out.
Come on, guys. That was close. He died?
Brave man. Not a very bright one. May be back, but it won't be to get us. He may have been right at that. This may be hell.
I found this in the snow. Someone must have dropped it. Oh, thank you, dear. You don't have very many, do you? Oh, dear, no, not nearly enough. It's for the orphans, you know.
Ah!
Open your heart.
Just a barrel. A dark depository where I kept the counterfeit. Perhaps they are unloved only for the moment. In the arms of children, there can be nothing but love.
The ballerina was right.
Tonight's cast of players and the odd stage.
They are the unloved.
The Twilight Zone.
Ah, that was a cool one. You know, I told you during the intro that I love stories, shows, movies which are happening into a closed space. I really find that kind of story really stressful, you know, really intense. Even more when people, they don't know why they are right there, you know, and there is an investigation. I told you during the intro that just the synopsis made me think of the movie Cube, and then we read together during the intro the Wikipedia page of this episode, and we saw that yes, it was an influence, this particular episode, for the movie Cube, and I'm gonna talk about it later. So clearly I love that kind of stories, so this one is gonna talk to me, and all of these questions, you know, that the characters are asking, who they are, why they are right there, the fact that it's really metaphysic questions, you know, psychological questions, and also the fact that no matter what, they have that dream of escaping and they're trying again and again, and the situation about the fact that they are not thirsty, they are not hungry, they are never exhausted, all of that, it was cool, you know, to bring that to a story. I need to talk about the movie Cube, which was influenced by this episode, because clearly I can see it. It's 5 characters who are blocked into a round thing, when into Cube it's into a square cubic thing, and they all have a purpose, you know. Right there it's really things which are a little weird, and we have the explanation why at the end. Again, I'm going to come back to this solution at the end. But into Cube it was more like they all have a purpose, they all have something that they can bring to the group. So that's why right there I was like, okay, maybe 3 of you are there to entertain the other ones, you know, the clown, the ballerina, some musician and all. I thought of it, but no, in fact they were there without any real purpose and all. But you know, I can see with the movie Cube some things, you know, which are a little the same. The fact that they don't know their names, the fact that they don't know why they are right there, that little wink wink about the round and the cubic thing. The major and the clown, it's in fact the crazy guy, and also the one who is like that, you know, into Cube. I can see similarities right there. The solution at the end into this episode, it's really well done. The fact that I'm watching that, you know, in January, so after Christmas, it's bringing another dimension, you know, to watch it during that period of time. And I said it to you during the intro, this episode was out in December of 1961. I think that it was close to Christmas. Yes, the 20th of December of 1961. So it was really the good time to put out, you know, an episode like that. I appreciate that conclusion, you know, because of the context, when it was out just before Christmas and it's talking about Christmas. I appreciate the solution because it seems logical now that we have 5 characters like that who are really weird, you know, like why a ballerina, why a musician of bagpipes, you know, why a major, why a clown. Like, it seemed a little weird, but now that we know that they are dolls, it seems logical that we have dolls who are like that. all of this discussion, you know, about there's the unloved. Yes, there are the dolls that no one wants, not truly, and that's why they are given right there, not to the poor, but to the orphans, girls. And right there they try to escape, but at the end they're all coming back into the barrel. And the sound, you know, it's coming from that person who is trying to have new dolls. For now, they are the unloved, but at the end, they're gonna find a new family, a new kid, who is gonna love them, maybe. And that's why they are not thirsty, they are not hungry, they are never exhausted. But you know, this episode could be also an influence, like an inspiration for Toy Story, like dolls who are talking. No, it's nowhere on the Wikipedia page of this episode or on the Wikipedia page of Toy Story that it can be an influence, but see what I'm talking about? Maybe it can be a little, you know, even if they never said so. Maybe, you know, dolls who are talking, who are doing stuff together. Right there, the fact that they don't know that they are dolls, that's another dimension, you know, because the Major, he wanted to have a name, he's sure that normally he has a name, he has a life, he has people who care about him, who know who he is. Dolls who think that they are humans. All of the situation, you know, like it's really Kafkaian in the sense that it's so absurd, it's so much, you know, about these guys, they don't know who they are, why they are right there, and there is really no purpose of them being right there, but still they want to try to escape from that situation. It's bringing, you know, a lot of anxiety and a lot of absurdity into this episode, so really for me it's Kafkaian with that definition. The fact that they want to try to escape also. The Major, he had a lot of good ideas, like that thing going on the shoulders of each other, that was my first solution. He had that one, it didn't work thanks to the ballerina, but then it worked with that solution, you know, with his sword. The fact that he fell just like that, I was like, you're so stupid. You could have watched, you know, before going on it and you would have seen everything. The fact that he's falling into the snow, the clown, you know, having that idea about what is happening right there, and the fact that at the end he's returning to the barrel because in fact he's a doll, so he's returning with all of the other ones. Are they gonna remember what happened? Or is it gonna be something, you know, which is repeating itself again and again for them? I'm sorry! I went out like for some minutes, you know, like I was just watching a point and thinking, I love that kind of stories and all. They were really questioning their existence, they were really trying to find answers about who they are, why they are right there and all. They were lost because they didn't have any answer. I mean, the Major, the other ones, they were just like, no, you're never gonna have the answer, we already tried everything, you know. I love it. I love that kind of things, you know, like that kind of stories for sure. I said it into a closed space, but also that kind of psychological dilemmas, you know. And it's also one of my nightmares, I don't know how to say it, you know, like when you are blocked into your own nightmare and you don't know how to get out of it. It never happened to you. You know that you're having a nightmare but you can't get out of it and you're trying to escape from your own nightmare and it's a fight between yourself. It made me think of that, and you know, I have that thing about them thinking that they're into another planet, or maybe they're in hell, or maybe they're into the nightmare of one of them. What would you think, you know, if you would be into that position, blocked into that thing? I said it, I think that I would be like the Major. Okay, the other ones, they tried stuff on their own, but I would try, no matter what, to scream, to find a way out, to motivate them to find a way out. I wouldn't accept, you know, for just sitting there and doing nothing. Nope. Even more, you know, if I'm never thirsty, I'm never angry, I'm never feeling exhausted, I would just go for it. Like, what? I'm just supposed to be bored all day? No. Oh, that was so cool. I loved it. See, I'm into that mood, like, I want to think about it, I'm still into it, you know, I'm still into the mood of this episode. Just being like, okay, I'm trapped. I mean, really into the mood of this episode, or maybe just this episode put me into that mood and I have trouble to escape from it also. Oh, cool! That's the kind of thing that I love with these episodes of the Twilight Zone that I'm discovering with you guys. Like I said, it's not something that I do regularly on my channel. If you're following on this video, I already watched 14 episodes of the Twilight Zone and the best ones according to the rates on IMDb. So if you want to check that, check the playlist that I made for the Twilight Zone on my channel. You're gonna find all of my reaction videos for it. And I don't know when I will see you again for a new episode of the Twilight Zone, but that was a cool one, a really cool one. Okay, it's all for you and for me for this video, for this episode of the Twilight Zone. So it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Crazy.